Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's really dive into what it takes to build a financially secure retirement here in the US. It's this huge goal that millions of us are working towards, but the actual path to get there, it can feel super unclear. So today, we're going to break it all down. The numbers, the strategies, and maybe most importantly, the mindset you need. I mean, just imagine that for a second. This is the dream, right? All those decades of waking up early, sitting in traffic, giving up your time, all of it was leading to this one moment. The moment where your time is finally 100% yours to command. But here's the thing, there's a really harsh reality that can just shatter that perfect picture. That amazing dream of freedom can turn into a total nightmare of stress if you don't have the financial foundation to back it up. The two are they're completely connected.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Real freedom in retirement means you can live your life without constantly worrying about money. If you don't have that security, you've basically just traded in your work stress for a different kind of financial stress.
So, what does a comfortable retirement actually cost? Let's get into the real numbers, starting with the baseline that millions and millions of Americans rely on.
Right now, that's the average monthly Social Security benefit. Just let that sink in. For a huge chunk of the 55 million Americans over 65, this is pretty much their main source of income. We're talking about $23,000 a year.
And I want you to seriously think about that for a second. Could you do it? Cover your housing, your healthcare, groceries, a car, your hobbies, everything you want to do on $2,000 a month? If that question makes you feel a little queasy, trust me, you are not alone. And this chart, wow, this really lays it all out. You can see the gap we're talking about. On one side, you have the average Social Security income at around $23,000. But on the other, studies show that a truly comfortable retirement income is way closer to $65,000. That big space in between, that's the gap you have to fill with your own savings.
So when we say comfortable, what are we even talking about? Look, this isn't about being rich. It's not about yachts and luxury cars. It's about peace of mind. It means being able to cover your healthcare bills without freaking out, maybe traveling a bit and just living without that constant nagging financial worry every single day.
And here's a huge detail that can totally change the entire equation. Housing. See that $65,000 comfortable number? A lot of the time, that assumes you own your home free and clear. If you're going to be renting for the rest of your life, well, that's a permanent bill that never goes away, and it becomes a massive piece of your retirement puzzle.
Okay, so we've sized up the problem. We know how big the gap is. The big question is, how in the world do you bridge it? Let's get into the blueprint for the solution, and we're going to start with a really important idea called the 4% rule.
So this is the 4% rule. It's a simple but really powerful guideline. It's based on a ton of historical market data, and it's designed to do one thing: help make sure your money lasts as long as you do. The whole idea is to create a predictable, sustainable income from that big pile of savings you've built.
Now, the math itself is super straightforward, so don't let it scare you. You just take your total retirement savings, multiply that number by 0.04, and boom, that's your paycheck for the first year of retirement. It's a direct line between how much you saved and how much you can actually spend. So if we put that rule into practice, what are we looking at? Well, to generate that comfortable $60,000 a year income, your total savings nest egg needs to be about $1.5 million. That's the target. And if you're aiming a little higher, say for $100,000 a year in retirement, that target number climbs to $2.5 million. Now, this is really important. This is the money you save to create that income. It works on top of your Social Security benefits, not instead of them.
Okay, I know, those numbers can feel, well, they can feel absolutely massive. But before you get discouraged, we need to talk about the single most powerful force you have working for you. This is the engine that actually makes those big numbers possible.
This right here, it's like magic. Compounding is just your money making money. And then that new money starts making even more money. The best way to think about it is like a snowball rolling down a really long hill. $100 that earns 7% becomes 107. But the next year, you earn 7% on the entire 107, not just your original 100. You give that enough time, and this effect does all the heavy lifting for you. It's incredible.
So, the most important takeaway here is this. Starting early is way more important than trying to perfectly time the market. Seriously, someone who starts saving consistently in their 20s has a gigantic advantage over someone who waits until their 40s, even if that person invests way more money later on. Time is, without a doubt, your greatest asset.
All right,
So we've gone over the problem, and we've talked about the engine of growth. Now for the most important part of all. What can you actually do? What can you do starting today to get yourself on the right track?
Here are 5 key steps you can take. First, bump up your contributions. Max out that 401k, especially if your job offers a match. That's when they put in money just because you did. It is literally free money. Second, invest wisely. Don't just let your savings sit in cash. Make sure it's working for you for the long term. Third, get a handle on your expenses. That gap between what you make and what you spend, that's the fuel for your future. Fourth, make a plan for housing. And finally, the most powerful step of them all, just start. Start now. As we wrap this up, it's so important to remember what this whole thing is really about. The end goal isn't just to have a certain number in a bank account. It's about getting to a feeling of certainty. It's about knowing you're going to be okay and that your money isn't going to run out.
And this right here, this is such a powerful shift in your thinking. That first question, how much do I need? It can be totally paralyzing. It's too big. But if you ask, am I on track? That focuses you on progress. It's all about just taking the next right step today, which is so much more empowering.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. The antidote to all this financial anxiety isn't some winning lottery ticket. It's clarity. It's understanding where you are today, knowing where you're trying to go, and just being clear on what your very next step is. That clarity is what builds the confidence you need for a secure and, a really fulfilling future.